Without further ado, I am going to share my PowerPoint and we can get started here.
We're seeing your screen that has your notes.
Okay. How
Oh,
about
there it
now?
is. Beautiful.
Okay, great.
Oh,
Well,
you're welcome, Stoyan. Stoyan saying thank you for hosting this.
oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I love working with financial advisors, and year end is such a perfect time to really wrap your brain around, what's worked this year. What do you want to fine tune for next year? What have the results been to date? And where do you want to see them be a year from now? And today we're really going to jump in and support you with the details that you need to get in place to really fine tune your business development strategy for success. So, and with that, I'll be sharing strategies on how to best elevate your marketing and conversions in 2024 and beyond. And this will include strategies to elevate your brand, your marketing mastery, and build your 2024 marketing plan. Effective outreach, client connection, client-based growth, and valued communication. So a whole lot that we're going to wrap our brains around in this next hour. I'll make sure and leave some time at the end for your questions, and feel free to pop them in the chat as we go, and I'll address them as well. So that you can get a little better idea about me personally and how I work with clients, I'll share a personal story. My husband, David, and I are now empty nesters. Our two kids, Brian and Joshua, have flown the coop. And it's kind of weird, although we're getting used to it. As a business development coach and as a parent, I wanted to set them up with being successful so that they could buy groceries, pay the rent, and get used to really swimming in the independent lane. So as a business coach, when one of them wasn't getting a job at first, with my business coach hat on, I asked him how he was presenting himself. So he shared his resume with me, and I noticed that he was missing a few critical pieces, the job objectives, and exactly, where he wanted to land next as he presented his work experience. So I suggested a few changes, and within just 2 weeks, he had interviews. And he is now gainfully employed and happy and successful on his path. So now let's help with how I can help each of you make 2024 the year that you grow your business and reach your goals. I'm a certified business development coach with a 20-year track record of client success. I've been a consultant to 1,000 plus professionals, including financial advisors, CFPs, CPAs, attorneys, business consultants, and more. I've served on the National Board of the Financial Planning Association. I'm the creator of the FAST program, and I'm known for being a catalyst for accelerating business growth. My big why for being a coach and consultant is that I'm inspired to empower people with their business growth strategies. Assessing your marketing status is especially useful to successfully attract your ideal clients, integrate your experience and credentials to grow your business. As we go through today's training, you'll identify marketing tools and strategies to incorporate into your marketing plan for 2024. If you haven't taken the Financial Advisor Success Quiz, I invite you to take it right now. It takes just about 4 minutes, and you can access it at financialadvisorsuccessquiz.com. Laura will drop that URL in the chat now. I invite you to jump on right now, take the quiz. We'll pause for a couple of minutes for you to do this so that you have an opportunity to really get clarity about your starting point for your business development systems and give you some insight heading into the webinar about really where it is you want to fine tune your game. So Laura, have you had a chance to do that?
It is in the chat for everybody.
Okay, go ahead and fill out the Financial Advisor Success Quiz. When you complete the quiz, we'll be sending you an email with your results, and where you'll have clarity about specifically where you want to up-level specific aspects of your business development strategy to really set yourself up to win in the coming year. And what I recommend too is that you raise your hand with the reaction, or you simply raise your hand so that we can see you when you completed the assessment, and then we will move on. So we'll give you just a moment to do that. And just to share with you as well, while you're taking the assessment, oftentimes what clients tell me after they take the assessment is, oh, they didn't realize exactly the specificity of where they need to focus to enhance the game. And so it left them with much greater clarity. And depending upon what your email address is, on occasion, it doesn't work when people are perhaps working for a larger firm. They're finding they need to put their Gmail email address into the Financial Advisor Success Quiz to get the results. So it will let you know pretty quickly, and so that you can pivot. So we'll work that out with you if we need to on the back end. Okay, why don't you raise your hand if you need a little more time? Otherwise, we will continue. Okay, so let's move forward. So today, our area of focus is to help you in a few specific areas. We're going to define your brand, provide marketing strategies, improve outreach, connect with clients, and set you up with those core marketing strategies to systematize ongoing business development. Our focus today is to define your ideal client to strengthen your brand. It's to define your area of specialization and become known as the go-to expert in your niche. To create a slogan or a marketing message to really help you attract your ideal prospects to turn them into ideal clients quickly. And from there, to develop the essential pieces of your brand that increase prospect to client conversions. So this webinar is designed to be hands-on training, as you can see. So feel free to take notes. Let's talk about now how to define your ideal client. It is critical to define your ideal client, as it will give you greater power, focus, and ultimately results with your marketing strategy. How would you describe that group for yourself? The more focused your market, the easier it'll be for you to establish yourself as a credible expert amongst that group. Are they high-tech CEOs? Are they affluent families? Family-owned businesses, perhaps? Doctors? Entrepreneurs? You'll want to consider some of these areas as you look at narrowing your focus. And the areas include, you really want to look at their profession, the industry they're in, what their net worth is, their annual income, where they live, their passions and charities? What are their fears, challenges, and their goals? One frequently asked question that I get is, aren't most people looking for the same ideal client? And after strengthening your marketing foundation, you'll likely see that you are not all focused on the same market. In fact, when you realize this, you see that you have an opportunity to create referral partners. Oftentimes with financial advisors, for instance, you have different investment minimums for your ideal clients. It could be working with executives that have, 5 million and more in AUM, and others might have a smaller minimum. And you can refer to each other that way. For some of you, you'll be working with businesses of different sizes, industries, and there will be opportunities to refer to one another within those niches. The bottom line is having an ideal client profile can dramatically increase your ability to attract your most profitable and right fit clients. Why should your ideal prospects choose you? So to position yourself as the go-to expert they've been seeking, you really want to refine your area of specialization so that you can communicate your area of your credentials, your education, the background and experience that you're bringing to the table, your unique understanding of these people's ideal situation and their goals, and your inspiration for your area of specialization. What are the reasons related to your area of specialization that your top clients hire you? What comes to mind? Anybody willing to share? Okay. So next, what we're going to do is create your slogan. Your slogan is a succinct way of articulating what you do and for whom. This is not just a 30-second commercial. This is a 5-second open the door response when someone asks you what you do. This is a great way to begin a conversation about what you do, who you serve, and how you take great care of them. Also, how you stand out from others in the marketplace. What are you hearing about from your prospects that they think they need from you? And in terms of your services? What are the common denominators as it relates to your area of specialization that they're looking for, that they're communicating to you, that they're needing? Are they letting you know they really need a financial plan? Are they wanting investment management? Are they mentioning estate planning for their heirs? Or is it something else altogether? It's really valuable to take note of exactly the words they're using and what they're asking for so that you can set up your marketing message to really address specifically what your ideal prospects are looking for. And so the formula for creating your slogan is what you do and for whom equals your slogan. And here I'm going to give you some examples to give you an idea of how this works. Investment and tax management for high-tech CEOs. What you do, investment and tax management for whom? High-tech CEOs. Another example, estate planning for affluent families. Financial planning for family-owned businesses. Retirement and business succession planning for doctors. So why don't you take a moment and write the first idea that comes to mind for your slogan? And I'll give you just a couple of moments to do that. And if you'd like to share what that is, just raise your hand in the chat. Okay, and now we will move on. So here's an example to really help you hone in on how this works. I worked with a financial advisor who wanted to develop the succession planning component of his services. He is an avid golfer, and many of his ideal clients and professional network also enjoy the game. So we included golfing in his marketing strategy. He reaches out to clients who are business owners, asks them to invite a couple of friends who are also business owners to play a round of golf. He also includes allied professionals who serve the same target market, the business owners, CPAs, estate planning attorneys, business attorneys, bankers, evaluations experts, all for networking purposes. After a round of golf, he treats them to refreshments at the clubhouse. This experience helps solidify and reinforce business relationships in a comfortable, seemingly effortless way. His slogan is financial and succession planning for business owners. His marketing plan is designed around developing relationships in an enjoyable way to support the expansion of his business. Score. So now I ask you, in looking at some of your favorite ways to network, to build rapport with people, to take a time out with people, with your ideal prospects, what are the things that initially come to mind that you'd love to get in your marketing plan? For some people who are not golf enthusiasts, for instance, there are some who are tennis enthusiasts and do the same type of situations, invite clients to invite a couple of friends who also enjoy the game of tennis. For others, I've had clients who are mountain bikers and they do the same thing there. If you're not a sports enthusiast, and so you're not going to be incorporating sports into your marketing plan, perhaps it's inviting people out to lunch, at a nice venue, or breakfast at your favorite breakfast venue, and having an opportunity to just get to know people in an informal way, and to lead the way for developing that rapport, and ultimately having them see that you have a lot to bring to the table as, someone who's focused on the financial services world. Okay. So now we're going to talk about taking the work out of network, as I alluded to previously. This financial advisor that we're talking about here, whose focus is on golfing and the marketing strategy, has an authentic appreciation for his target market of business owners, truly enjoys serving them. So that is also something you want to bring to mind when you're honing in on who you most want to serve. Is it's going to be a lot more fun, enjoyable, and also easier to attract them if you have an authentic enjoyment for those people. This particular advisor values the opportunity to connect with these people in a social way because of their shared interests. And this advisor is strategic in choosing his target market so that in the end, he's able to meet his own goals and support a win-win relationship. Everyone looks forward to these group networking events, and it doesn't even feel like networking. It takes the work out of network. There is a connection that makes these relationships feel symbiotic, not effortless, but certainly it takes less effort because there's already a connection that enhances their working relationship, a common denominator they all enjoy. So again, consider your ideal client. What might be some fun or favorite ways for you to network? And I invite you to write the first couple of ideas that come to mind for you that you might like to incorporate into your 2024 marketing strategy. Okay. And next, we're going to talk about why develop your brand. Your brand attracts clients in need of your unique value in a way that appeals to their needs, goals, and challenges. Ultimately, developing, systematizing, and communicating your brand helps increase prospect to client conversions. Your uniquely branded system ties together your ideal client profile, your area of specialization, your slogan, and your menu of services. In the FAST program, I work with clients to fine-tune their uniquely branded system so that they're in a stronger position to have an impactful conversation that results in ultimately onboarding an ideal client. Alternatively, you can build this out for yourself. Having all of this in place includes the refinement of your tier structures as well, because that can be a game changer in your client conversion results. How that works too, when you build out your tier structures, which is a part of what we think through before getting your uniquely branded system in place, so that you can have potentially multiple tiers. Most advisors have 2 to 3 tiers where they're having their ideal client as tier 1, and perhaps someone who's in momentum to get there in tier 2. And then in tier 3, it's a smaller client. However, they still meet certain objectives in order to be an ideal client at either tier. So the bottom line here is to get your branding to, map it all out into a system that's easy to communicate to your prospects during prospect meetings, easy to communicate to your clients during review meetings, and easy to communicate to your allied professionals during meetings with them. And all of this will give all of them greater clarity as to how you can help them. And if they're prospects, greater likelihood of them becoming clients. If they're already clients and you share this information with them consistently, then they have an idea as to how you can help them beyond the ways that you're already helping them. Opportunity to expand wallet share, for example. And with allied professionals, it shows them how you stand out in terms of your organization for your business. You've taken the time out to think all of this through each step of the way. And what I can tell you is most of your competitors have not. And so when they see how organized you are along these lines, number 1, it'll be easier to refer to you. Number 2, you'll stand out from the pack in their mind as other people come up to refer to, and it'll set you up to win in terms of really building that relationship and supporting your credibility factor up front. Okay, so once you have your uniquely branded system in place, it's time to create your 90-day marketing plan. Why do we focus on a 90-day marketing plan? Well, what I can tell you is upfront, I always work with my clients to create annual goals. What do you want to see big picture unfold throughout the year? And then what I've determined, after working with financial services professionals for over 2 decades, is that really we all do better when we chunk down those bigger goals into 90-day goals to support our focus, to support implementation, and ultimately to support results. Okay. It also effectively supports your team members if you have team members that can help you implement as well, which can support any meetings that you might have with team members to really move things forward in a clear, succinct, effective way to support implementation ongoingly and results. Okay. So again, once you have your uniquely branded system in place, time to create this 90-day marketing plan. And in order to do this, here are the top client attraction marketing channels that are proven to yield results. Referrals, both client and professional referrals. Networking, digital marketing. Laura, would you speak to this channel? And before she jumps in, just to introduce Laura, she is an extraordinary teammate, a senior level associate coach on the team with background and experience with everything that we teach, as well as expertise in digital marketing.
Yeah, I love digital marketing and I love working with your FAST program and this whole concept of building out those channels that really attract new clients as well as get referrals and stay connected with your existing clients. So digital marketing allows you to do that, whether it's connecting with your clients and potential clients on LinkedIn, or sharing your expertise and positioning you as the go-to expert in your field with your specialization, and just having a place where people can go, because everybody's going to social media. And then if you're there, you get that credibility factor going. And a lot of advisors will tell me, well, none of my clients use social media. I said, yes. And when one of your clients tells somebody about you, they might go Google you. And you know what's going to come up? Not necessarily your website first. Your LinkedIn profile or a YouTube video would come up first. So you better have something there, because you don't know who's checking you out. It makes you look that much more credible. So I love digital marketing for the I've heard of you somewhere factor, the credibility that it allows you to bring to the table.
Beautiful. Thank you. And also, I'll share a little tip, given this is a masterclass, about LinkedIn. Okay. When you're meeting people, we were just talking about networking. When you're meeting people in the community and you want to get an appointment with them, even if you've already set up the appointment during your interaction, and a great way to do that is when you meet with people, you have a connection, they express enthusiasm with having a meeting with you. Get your cell phone out, have your calendar on your cell phone, and just be willing to book the meeting right then. This can save you so much time because you won't be chasing them. You now have a meeting booked. Now you can just send them an email and let them know you really appreciated the opportunity to connect with them. You're looking forward to meeting with them. And if there's any information you'd like them to fill out in advance, then you can ask them to do that as well. Excuse me. As well, once you do that, I invite you to find them on LinkedIn and send them a little LinkedIn message and a request to connect. And typical message I send is, hello, Joe. It was so great meeting you today at the networking event. And I look forward to meeting with you on blank date, kind of reinforce that meeting. And then I just say, hey, let's connect on LinkedIn in the meantime. And I wish you a great day. Best regards, Susan. And then they connect. And the quicker you do this after you connect with people, the greater likelihood they'll connect with you. They'll remember you. Okay. And then from there, check out their LinkedIn profile. Their LinkedIn profile can give you a lot of information up front about this person, and give you greater perspective going into your prospect meeting about who they are, what they do for a living, what their experience level is, whether or not you have anything else in common. Oftentimes people put their hobbies down there as well, so you can really do a little deeper dive with a background check. Okay, so next, let's move on to associations and events. Those are great when you know your target market, so that you can show up where those people are also showing up. For instance, I have a focus of working with financial services professionals. I am a member of the Financial Planning Association. I go to the local financial planning associations meetings. And I meet a lot of people that way who I connect with on LinkedIn, who ultimately become clients as well. So just an idea as to how that works. As well, with direct response marketing, from there, once you have, all of your channels in place, the direct response marketing with the email, and other ways are great ways to reach out to prospects too. And then public relations. Once you have all these other details in place, your stellar reputation and credibility can make attracting clients even easier. Okay. And so I advise most clients to add one marketing channel to their marketing plan at a time. If you already have an established business and have already incorporated many of these marketing channels into your current system, consider adding some of these strategies. A list of clients with whom to discuss referrals. is one way to start on the path toward generating client referrals. Networking events to attend and generate leads, whether they're in person or online, is great, especially if you don't have a large client base. And, excuse me, one idea as well, when you're at a virtual event, I invite you to take stock of everybody's name. And if there are specific people you determine you want to connect with, have your LinkedIn up at the same time. Start reaching out to them on LinkedIn to connect. Say, hey, I see you on, this webinar. It would be great to connect. I appreciated your idea on X, let's connect. And then once you connect, then from there, you can deepen the relationship. Okay. So then, setting meetings with interested professionals and strategic alliance to build out your professional network is a powerful way to go as well. From there, sending out newsletters to stay top of mind amongst your clients, prospects, and professional network. And writing 2 blog posts per month to keep top of mind and position yourself as an expert. And now Laura is going to take over and talk about why build a 90-day marketing plan.
Great. So I'm really excited about this because this is where the rubber meets the road. It's like what you just said, Susan, and putting it into action. So when you build it out, it helps you to stay focused and in action. And can you advance yeah, perfect. And it will determine when you put it into an organized format, you'll know how frequently to do what to do and how frequently to do it. It will then aid you in making decisions about where to invest your time and your money. So if you can map it all out, you've got a roadmap here, and that will then enable you to take a look at it and delegate or outsource some of these pieces if you feel overwhelmed by it, or you don't have the time, or you're not the one who's going to do the marketing, because you need marketing. And when you have this plan, then you have a focus. It strengthens your focus. Your confidence is like, I am marketing, instead of saying, oh, I need to market, or I've never put together a marketing plan, or I need to, step into this and do it. Maybe next year. No, let's put it in place and be accountable finally to getting it done and having a consistent flow of those clients. So you'll have that accountability with this plan as well. All right. So moving on, then how do we build our 90-day marketing plan? Well, first, you're going to take what Susan just said, those channels, and you'll choose based upon your goal. What is your goal? You broke it down in your annual goal into 90-day goals. And then we're going to say, okay, well, which 3 to 5 channels are going to help us get there and get those new clients in the door? So we'll build out that 90-day marketing plan. We have a template that I'll show you on the next slide, and it will be based on those goals. Exactly. So we're going to break it down into weeks here, right? And you see in this slide, this is an example from our fast 90-day marketing calendar, our fast programs calendar, that we have our participants go through and actually map out pretty much in detail. So on this one, you'll see that we have the annual goals of receiving 12 referrals and writing blog posts and receiving new client referrals. So how do we get there? Well, we choose those 3 channels. On the left, you'll see client referrals, networking, professional referrals, and we even have digital marketing down there. So under each channel, there's about 3 to 5 tasks. They're mapped out with the frequency by week across the columns so that you can you're clear each week, every step of the way, how to achieve this goal, right? And one of them was 12 new prospects, right? New referrals. And so client referrals, these are the steps we're going to take. And that row 8, where you see it says week 1, we're going to create a list of 100 clients. So there's a little X. We say the goal is 100, creating that list of 100 clients. Okay, great. Week 2, or in week 1, along with that, we're gonna contact 5. We're gonna reach out. We're gonna actually contact 60 to get 5 appointments. Okay. So our goal is to get 5 calls, to speak to 5 people, or at least schedule a meeting with 5 people. And that's, make those 60 calls or outreaches to do so. The next row, 9, is the 10 is, let's assume that you do have those 5 meetings a week and you obtain 2 to 3 referrals to contact. So by week 2, you should be introduced to about 4 referrals each week, because they'll be accumulating. And so then you can follow up with those. You can contact those. And in row 11, what we want you to do is send follow-up emails to the people you met with previously to remind them to introduce you to the referrals. Okay. So you do have to keep on people, and we built that in here. So we've granularized it, if that's a word. And then in row 12, yes, that's when you're going to spend more time. So 11, you're going to thank the people that you met with, but in row 12, you're actually going to spend time contacting the people to remind them to make that introduction, or to give you that contacts information so that you could contact them. And in row 13, this is where you're going to actually schedule times to meet with prospects that have been referred to. So the goal is, from those the 100 list, you contact 60 people, you get 12 prospect meetings overall. And you do this kind of granular step-by-step mapping out by week over a 90-day period, 12 weeks, for each of those channels. You'll see we have it for networking: go to a networking event, generate the leads at the event, follow up. I don't have time to go through it step by step, but and same thing with professional referrals and digital marketing. But keep in mind your ideal client profile, who you most want to attract in the coming year, which 3 marketing channels make the most sense for you to plan out, and start building your marketing goals calendar from there.
Thank you, Laura. All right. So now we're going to talk about how to enhance your professional referral network. There are 2 avenues here that I really want to discuss with you today. The first avenue includes professionals you already know, okay? And you have an established relationship with: CPAs, estate planning attorneys, realtors, loan officers, and on and on. These are professionals who serve your existing and or potential ideal clients. Take the opportunity to educate them on your brand, including your ideal client profile, your area of expertise, how you stand out from the others they might be referring to. Excuse me. And as I shared before, share your uniquely branded system with them as a way to make sure you're standing out in their mind and distinct from the other advisors as to the total value you bring to the table, and how you really take care of your ideal clients on the way to helping them fulfill their goals. And also, when you're having that conversation, you want to talk with them about how you naturally work with their allied professionals. You can be a resource for their allied professionals, ideally, where you're the one answering any questions. Perhaps you have meetings about the shared client, to really set the stage for an enhanced relationship. So again, offer to be a resource to these professionals as a means to build your connection, your credibility factor with them, with the intent to create an active referral relationship with them. Okay. Then the second avenue is get an introduction to professionals who already serve your existing clients. These include the professionals, who serve them and that you don't have a relationship with. If you're not already asking your clients on your intake form when you first meet with them who the other professionals are that are serving them, the allied professionals, update that intake form. And if you're not already connecting with each of those people to start to build out a relationship after, let me say this, after you ask your client, number one, how they feel about them. Do they feel that they're an excellent resource? Are they happy with their services? Are they looking forward to being supported by that professional in the coming year? If the answer is yes, beautiful. You would like to connect with them as a means to build out, your referral network as a resource for the other clients. Okay. And it'd be great if you would ask for a warm introduction from your client. Typically, when you're sharing a client, it's pretty easy to get an appointment, and you can then vet for yourself, does this feel like a good fit to build a strategic alliance around? At the minimum, if you have a shared client, you want to offer, excuse me, to be a resource. You want to be the one that they think of when they're meeting with that client with regard to any other details they need or any input they need from you. But as long as the client is absolutely on board with them being a fabulous resource for your clients, you want to connect with them and see how you can build out that relationship. Okay. And then the second approach is you're showing your existing clients here with this approach that you appreciate and trust their opinions. You're opening the door to another level of business building networking with this activity. You don't yet know these professionals personally, so that's where asking for the introduction comes in handy. And as I said before, chances are if your current client is happy with them, it's a positive sign that they could be somebody quite effective to add to your network. And at these meetings, one of the ways you can stand out as well is to be organized. Oftentimes people show up, they get to know people, but they don't necessarily have a strategic approach to building out a professional referral relationship. So part of that approach includes, asking them first all about them. Because typically once you ask people all about them, they ask about you. And then from there, it's your opportunity to share about your brand, who you serve, how you stand out, how you take care of your clients, and, make your clients happy. So when asking them those things, you want to know how easy is it for them to respond to you, about who they serve, how they stand out, what are the areas that they specialize in. And by the end of that meeting, you want to take an intuitive stock as well. Does this feel like, is this somebody that you like? Is this somebody that you like to build out a relationship with? And if so, take the next step, schedule the next meeting. Oftentimes when I'm first working with clients, they'll say that they meet with allied professionals once a year. Well, let me tell you, if you're just meeting with them once a year and there's nothing in between, they may think of you more readily right after you meet with them, but chances are they're not going to keep you in mind if you're only having one touch per year. So I recommend you have some sort of quarterly connection, and then also get permission from them to send them your newsletters too, so that you can keep them top of mind as to who you are, your expertise, your consistency, because consistency in one area, people will kind of relate it to another area in terms of taking care of your clients. And again, with your professional network, you want to definitely connect with them online too, so that on LinkedIn too, so that, they're seeing all of your posts. Even if you're not having a conversation that frequently, they are frequently being reminded of you by you through social media, if they're engaged with social media. Okay. So from there, you want to optimize your existing book of business. What does that mean? You already have some really great clients. So let's talk about optimizing those relationships. Professionals oftentimes think that if they've explained the breadth of their services just once, their clients, their allied professionals, everybody they know is going to remember all aspects of their services from that moment going onwards. And sorry, but this is just not the case. So what do we do about that? You want to make sure and carve out the time in your review meetings to share your uniquely branded system, excuse me, with your ideal clients, with your raving fans, with the clients that you want to replicate, okay? Let them know of the expanded value you bring to the table for them, for their friends and colleagues who might benefit from your services. And you want to take the opportunity to talk about the expanded services that you provide that this client might not yet be aware of, or perhaps they forgot since you last shared it with them. Just a few things to keep in mind there. You want to look for opportunities in review meetings. At your review meetings with your clients, once you've completed the review and addressed their needs and questions, ask them what they're taking away from the meeting. This is a little bit of a coaching tip, okay? This is a great way to have them be present to the value that they're receiving from their relationship with you. This is a great way to have them, really tune in as to the benefit they're taking away from the meeting. And once you know specifically where your client is seeing the most value, that's a great time to let them know that you'd appreciate any introductions that they can make to their friends and colleagues who might have some of the same needs. So bottom line is, as you're building out your business, don't forget to ask for the referral. And I've got a little story there for you. One of my clients, he was working with specifically with an engineering firm. Those were his clients, engineers. And he used to real consistently, ask about, retirement dates and asking to be introduced to their friends. And they were introducing all kinds of people. And then he slowly slowed down the pace of that request. And pretty soon he wasn't getting referrals and he wasn't asking for them. Can you relate? Sometimes people go through different phases where they're more proactive with these pieces of the conversation than others. And so my coaching to him was to start asking, once we discussed the situation, discussed why he might have pivoted, and he was really clear about the value of having that conversation. So he revved up that conversation in his review meetings again. And guess what? The referrals started happening again as well. And he started reaching momentum with the referrals and in onboarding new clients again. So don't forget to ask for the referral. I appreciate you showing up during this busy holiday time period. And so I have a gift for you today to support your New Year's results. I'm going to offer you a one-on-one opportunity to connect with me to review your financial advisor success training assessment to determine where you need to enhance your game to reach your desired results in 2024. So I invite you to book your strategy session right here at susandanzig.com/breakthrough. That's a perfect place to align your calendar with mine. And if you didn't have a chance to finish the financial advisor success training assessment, the FAST assessment, you want to do that too. And Laura will drop that assessment back in the chat. Actually, you can probably still see it in the chat so that you can complete that before your breakthrough session. And so I'm here to support you. Thank you for attending this webinar. I'm honored to have the opportunity to help you achieve your goals in 2024. And so what questions do you have for me at this point?
We had one drop in the here from Brooke. And Brooke said she asked it a while ago, but how much time does it take to integrate these suggestions into one's practice, and then how long does it take to get results?
Great question. Okay. What I can tell you is, of course, it depends upon the person and how quickly you implement. What I can tell you is many of the things that we teach with our clients and we coach and consult on can be implemented immediately for results. And I'll give you a couple of examples. We were recently working with a team of 26 advisors in our FAST program. And it was a 4-month program. And during that time frame, everybody produced results. There were a couple of the regional directors. At first, when I first spoke to them about participating in the program, they weren't sure that they had time because they were already swamped with leads, believe it or not, with prospects. However, when I spoke with them, we determined that their ideal prospects were not the ones that they were swamped with, okay? And so they decided to engage in the program. And as a result, they really attributed to the refinement of their brand to giving them greater confidence in their conversations with prospects. As a result, one of them onboarded 50 million in AUM during a 5-month period, and the other one onboarded 40 million in AUM during a 5-month period. And again, they attributed that to getting their systems in place and also really having clarity and focus on that marketing plan and being conscious with the coaching each step of the way as to what's happening, what's working, where do we need to refine the game, where do they need to implement. Okay, other people on their team, they were VPs who'd been in the business 7+ years, and then there were some junior advisors who'd been in the business typically 5+ years. And everybody was attracting their ideal clients by the end of the program. One of the junior advisors, his goal was to attract 5 ideal clients. That's 500,000 in AUM and above during the program so that he could be promoted to VP. And I'm happy to say he was able to check that box and he became a VP right after the program as a result. And so when we're refining your brand and looking at your referral strategy, the ability to communicate a succinct brand and clarity about the value that you provide your clients, how you stand out in the marketplace, having that slogan in place to quickly attract your ideal prospect meetings, and ultimately being able to share your brand more effectively, mostly with your ideal clients, with your centers of influence, with your strategic partners. That sets you up for the opportunity to get referrals real quickly. And so what I can tell you is from my experience in working with people with these systems, people get referrals. You could get referrals within the first month, within, you don't have to wait till you complete the program. And sometimes after, one conversation on how we're going to shift up your referral engine, people go out there and they're more confident about asking for referrals and they get them. So really, each of these systems can help rev up your really client attraction machine pretty quickly. And so that's how I'd answer that question. Is that helpful?
Yeah, absolutely. I hear from sometimes people, financial advisors are taking coaching programs. How is what you do different?
Okay. How this is different. Number one, I'm a business development coach with an expertise in working with financial services professionals. Out of working with financial services professionals for over 2 decades, I have a system that includes looking at your vision for where you are now until your end game, and really refining your brand, determining that ideal client to support you with really reaching your goals and having that vision unfold, in a timely manner. And then we have a system for looking at refining your brand, getting all the pieces in place. And then from there, once you determine your ideal client profile, really look at the marketing channels you've been using and take stock of those. What's working there? What do we need to do to light a fire underneath those results? Are there any new ones that you want to add to the mix? And from there, get your 90-day marketing plan in place so that you have a weekly plan to implement to support results. A lot of clarity about what needs to happen and when. And then from there, looking at up-leveling marketing skills, and then really refining your sales conversion process. We teach a consultative sales process, and we have a template that takes you each step of the way in the conversation so that you're really going a little deeper in the conversation typically to find out your prospects' goals, their challenges, what's in the way of their moving forward, how it's impacting their lives to have these challenges. And from there, really build out and make that client enrollment template authentic to you, and then teach you if enhancing your sales is an area where you want to dig in, teach you how to more effectively overcome objections, stay in touch with anybody who wants a little more time before they make that decision, and how to more effectively onboard ideal clients. So what I would say is how this is different is we have a specific system which will take you step by step all the way through to attracting and onboarding your ideal clients.
Sounds very customized and comprehensive as well. I love that.
It is.
You mentioned something about teams. Some have teams, and what would be the best approach to implement marketing with a team? And how would someone without a team implement this?
Okay. Well, first of all, when we're building out your 90-day marketing plan, if you have a team, oftentimes there's greater opportunity to engage in more marketing channels or more marketing overall because you can delegate it. You don't need to be doing everything. Okay. And so how we work with teams is we really get everybody aligned with the marketing plan. We determine who's best qualified to take on each aspect of the marketing. We have accountability structure that we offer to other team members, if you like, so that we can support your team overall. And that's how we work with teams, to support you and the team each step of the way toward enhancing the results, having everybody be comfortable with the strategy, and keeping people on track. As you know, human beings in general, for all of us, accountability, is something that 99% of us, from our experience, benefit from having an accountability structure in place. Now, for somebody who doesn't have a team, we actually work with you the same way. We look at what the goals are, what you're doing from a marketing strategy perspective already in terms of your marketing channels, where we can enhance what you're already doing. So it's not about taking extra time. It might be about adding 5 extra minutes to your review meetings to really share about your brand, how to do that, how to ultimately share your enthusiasm for growing your practice. Did you know that oftentimes if people aren't sharing their enthusiasm and bandwidth for growing their practice, their clients might actually think that they're full and that you're not attracting new clients, or you're not open to that. Bottom line, you want to share your enthusiasm for attracting new clients. So with an individual that is handling all the marketing on your own, we work with you specifically to, and go through, what is most important, how to enhance your time, during, all of your marketing activities, and how to be most effective with each of those channels that you're implementing. So our systems work for individuals and for teams.
And what if one's personality is a little bit more reserved and they have difficulty connecting with potential clients or referral sources? That's just not their jam.
If that is not your jam, we definitely work with that as well, because that's the case for many people, and for some people, they work with Laura as well and really build out their strategic marketing approach on LinkedIn and digital marketing channels. There might be more writing involved. There might be more ways to reach out online versus needing to show up and be, in public meetings and host events and this type of things. So we can customize the approach to your personality as well as to your goals. So that's not a problem.
That's great. One more question for you.
Okay.
I know we're getting a little over time here, but what is your ideal financial advisor that should work with you?
Well, for us, oftentimes, we're working with people who've been in the business for 10 plus years and are really trying to get their business to the next level. They've gotten their foundation in place for, how they take care of clients, for what their area of specialization is in terms of their education, in terms of how to deliver on that. And where we come in is like, okay, now you're confident with the foundation. Now let's really ramp up your results with regard to your business development systems and results. As well, what I'll share with you, oftentimes we work with people who are brand new in the business, and those people are people who know that the way that they're going to be successful more quickly is to engage and learn more quickly. And we always love working with them. And we really do more education for them typically, and, support them with, as some of them have shared, wrapping their brain around the business development system, right? How to build that out each step of the way so that they're, more quickly set up to effectively network, to be able to share, exactly what they do and for whom, to start a conversation, to share more effectively, how they help their clients and exactly what their system is for delivering on, helping their clients to achieve their goals. So, while we work with people who are quite seasoned, we also work with people who are newer in the business. And in terms of ideal clients, people who are really focused on growth and committed to taking the action, that would be who our ideal clients are.
Perfect. Well, I want to encourage everyone to schedule that breakthrough session at your susandanzig.com/breakthrough. It's invaluable. It's just invaluable.
And I will look forward to talking with you then. And in the meantime, I wish you a fabulous day ahead. And we thank you for joining us today. It was a pleasure to be here with you. Bye-bye.